My gosh. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Valerie Walton here. I am so freaking excited to be able to hop on here and chat with you today. This is kind of deep, y'all. This is kind of deep because I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes and giving you an inside look at some things that you don't normally see from a marketer so that this way you don't feel like you're going crazy. Okay. So, with that being said, today we're going to dive into um, what you should not do, right? What not to do when you're feeling burned out or when life happens and something comes up. Um, it's not uncommon for you to feel that way, right? You're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you if you're starting to feel a little burned out. This is just a wake up call. It is time for you to take some inventory on a few things. And I'm going to share with you a few tips that has helped me over and over again, time and time again, and helped a lot of other marketers as well. So grab some tea, grab your notepad, grab a friend, share out this video because the info is all coming up. Yes. All right. So as you can see, I look a little bummy today, and I have probably been for the past few weeks because there's been so much going on. And I just figure if I gotta neglect something, it'll probably be, my mascara for today, as opposed to completely just not doing a video. You know what I mean? So there you have it. Now, for those of you that are tuning in for the very first time, I am a certified online home business coach, trainer, and marketer. And I've been so for the past 5 years, I've helped over 4,000 people be able to either get their start or if they've already started to go next level in their businesses. And I do it in a way that allows you to stick with simplicity. I help people get the clarity and the confidence to get the cash flow necessary to have a business that is stable so that when life happens, when these things happen, you'll be prepared, you'll be ready to move forward no matter what happens, right? The business is still running. So, all right. Are you ready for this? Like I said, I've got a solution for every color personality. Okay, because you are stronger than your circumstances. So no more of this, oh no, my circumstances have me in shackles. Oh no, my circumstances are causing me, right? They have the power to keep me from doing something. No. All right. So if you're watching me live, go ahead, hashtag live in the comments in the chat. And if you are watching the replay, then of course, make sure you hashtag replay. And if you got any questions or anything, any topics you'd like for me to cover and create some content around, feel free to let me know because you never know. You might get a shout out for being the person who inspired me to create my next form of content. All right. So here's the thing. For the person who is feeling like, okay, I'm really burned out. There's a lot that I have going on right now. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to build a business, and maybe you're also, working a job or a couple jobs, just trying to stay afloat. You have bills to pay, you have children, you have a spouse. Like there's so much going on because there may also be like your church or whatever your belief is. Maybe you're volunteering there and you're helping contribute there. Maybe you're contributing to your community in some way. Maybe you volunteer at your kid's school or you volunteer in the community. Like there's so many different things you could be doing. Now you look at that plus time that you want to spend for yourself, that personal time, that personal pampering time, being able to go get your massages or go get your hair done or go let your feet soak and let somebody give you a nice spa pedicure. You got all this stuff that you're trying to do in addition to building a business. And it's like, okay, something's got to give. For me, most times I feel like I can handle it because I'm pretty good with working on my toe. Like I'm always on my feet. Nothing really shakes me. It takes a lot. Right. Now that's me. Now there's some folks out there that are easily overwhelmed and stuff like that. And it can be difficult. But that's why I wanted to talk about this. And I wanted to break it down in forms of personality types because we all have different values and different concerns when it comes to growing our business and when it comes to having burnout or having life happen to us. So for the yellow personality, hello there, yellows. My message to you is yes, I get it. You want to help people. That's why you started your business. That's why, you feel bad whenever you don't show up for your business and stuff. And I'm not saying don't show up, but I am saying this. Yes, help people, but help you first. You are going to have to come to a realization that you have to start with you. You start with you. So I want to ask you a question. Have you ever took an empty pitcher of water and tried to pour water into 4 glasses? You can't, right? Because the pitcher is empty. Now I want you to imagine that you are the pitcher, right? In your business, you've got people coming to you and they're seeking to have you impart your knowledge, your wisdom, your resources onto them so that they can get what they need in life. It's really difficult for you to pour into them when you're empty. And this was a lesson that I actually had to learn. Fortunately, I learned this young, because I had my kids young. And one of the things in the early stages of me having a kid was that I felt burned out. I felt guilty if I wasn't constantly pouring into my kids, spending time with my kids, yada, yada. But I realized, how can I do that when I have no energy? I'm not allowing myself the rest that I need, or I'm not feeling like having fun with them because I haven't given myself what I need, that helps fill me up in that area. So it's the same thing for you, right? Some of the greatest pastors that I've ever seen or known, they have to, allow the Lord to pour into them so that they are filled up and overflowing before they can feed their flock, right? And it is the same thing for you. The way you feed your flock is you've got to allow yourself to be filled up first to the point that you are overflowing. And then this way, when you're pouring out onto other people or into other people, right, into their hearts and their minds, when you're doing that, you're not drained. You're not feeling as drained. So you're going to need to have this ongoing time, a schedule, a routine of some sort where you make time for yourself to get rejuvenated. This was a hard thing for me in the beginning. But then I realized how important this is and the value that I have to bring to the table. Even with the diamond, you got to polish it off every so often. You know what I'm saying? So same thing for you. Now for the blue personality, listen, for blues to get burned out, child, I know the feeling, because you like to receive the recognition and stuff that feels good to you. You enjoy having fun. You enjoy being free spirited. So a lot of times when we feel burned out, it is because we feel like we are chained up to something, that our back is against the wall and we're stuck, and we hate that because we like freedom. So it's difficult. It's difficult to be in that position. And so this is where you get to give yourself permission to have fun again. You can have fun again. Yes, your business is a serious deal. This is the vehicle that you're using to take yourself where you want to go in life, and you should be taking it seriously. But it doesn't mean that you can't have fun in your business, right? A lot of times I've seen people say, well, this person came up to me and told me that I need to be more professional. And I say, well, what do they mean by that? Well, they said, I can't show up in sweats in my videos, right? I should wear a suit and tie. That's not the definition of professionalism. Professionalism is being able to take what you're proficient at and using those skills, using that knowledge, using those talents, and creating an environment for a person where they feel comfortable around you and where you give them a good experience when they're interacting with you. That's professionalism, right? Where you're treating them with respect. That's what that is. It is not about your appearance, right? Although that's the way our brains work. A lot of people will associate a specific look, a specific aesthetic with a specific topic in their mind, but that's that one person, right? And as long as you are providing people with a feeling, right? A feeling of comfort, a feeling of um, relatability, and a feeling of hope, where you have a solution that reignites the hope in them that, oh my gosh, I actually can solve this problem. I feel empowered again. That's the kind of thing that you want to do. So as a blue personality, you really want to think about, you know, who are you? What are some things about yourself that you can bring to the table that makes you feel more authentic? Because that in turn makes it more fun. So yes, give yourself permission to go have fun again, because you're going to attract what you are. You're going to attract what you believe, not what you want. And so, although you may want to bring in people onto your team that you have fun working with and stuff, if you don't believe that's the kind of people you're going to get, you won't get them. And if you don't put your best foot forward, and the way you put your best foot forward is by being your authentic self, if you don't do that stuff, you're not going to get the results you want. So yes, enjoy, have fun again. If you are somebody that likes to do your marketing on TikTok, go get on TikTok and dance around, child. Do what you want to do. Create a marketing strategy around the things that are fun for you, the things that you enjoy, because there is one. Okay. Now for the red personality, chat, do not, under any circumstances, do not stop going after what you want. One of the worst things a person can do, which unfortunately is what the average person does in their home business when they get burned out, is they come to a full stop. They don't slow down. They don't prioritize. They don't do any of the things that will actually keep them moving. They stop completely. And for red personality especially, that is one of the worst things that you can do, because now you've got to start all over, rebuilding your momentum. You're starting from scratch. No wonder you feel like you're going in circles, right? You want it so bad. You have a desire to hit your goals so bad. But if you keep stopping, you're going to have to keep starting all over again. That's not healthy for a red personality, because then you're going to start wondering, why can't I make this happen? Then you're going to start feeling like, you're not good enough, right? And then all of these doubts and questions start coming into your mind, especially for a red personality. So make sure that you don't stop. Come up with a strategy, right? Come up with a daily routine where even when times get hard or circumstances pop up that were unexpected, or even when you're sick, or just when those unexpected things come up, or even when burnout comes up, that you at least have a routine where you're doing the bare minimum necessary to keep the business going. And that's also something that I've done as a red personality, right? And thank God I did it just in time, because just a few months before I needed it, I had a strategy in place, right? I had a routine in place for, my low energy days, the days where something came up and I couldn't focus my attention on that because this other thing took a precedent. It took priority over what my business activity was. It's rare that happens, because the way that I look at my business is a huge priority, one of the highest priorities I have to take care of in my day, because again, my business is a vehicle that I'm using to get me where I want to be in life. So my business is a life tool. This is something I've got to use every day. It's something I have to work on every day so that I can get where I want to be, right? So when you're looking at your business like that, all of a sudden, zoop, it goes super high on your list of priorities. And the other stuff, like, oh, my sister wants to know if I can come over and, polish her toenails, like that goes way down on the list, right? And yet people will do that kind of stuff. Your average home business owner, your average marketer, soon as they get a phone call from family or a friend, and oh my gosh, I need this. Oh, my car broke down. Can you take me to the grocery store? And now all of a sudden you're like, see, I can't work my business because I got to take my family member or my friend to the grocery store. No, you let them, hey, can you check and see if there's anybody else that will be able to take you? Because I have something super, super urgent that I have to take care of right now. My apologies. See, the answer needs to be no for some of this stuff that we take on. And as red personalities, a lot of times we feel like we can take on the world. We can do everything and anything. We can multitask. We can make things happen. But you know what? The brain does not work that way. What we believe we're doing is multitasking. We're really not multitasking. We're switch tasking. We're going back and forth between tasks in terms of our focus. So you don't want to do that. um prioritize. For the green personality, you thought I was going to leave you guys out? Of course not. For green personality, a lot of times what they tend to pride themselves on is being able to think, analyze things. They like to avoid making mistakes, even though sometimes that's inevitable, especially in business. You're going to make mistakes. And that's where they can kind of go wrong. They start to lean towards perfectionism when there is no such thing. There's no such thing as perfect when it comes to you as a person being a marketer. You don't want to focus on being perfect. You want to focus on being proficient. Practice makes proficiency, not perfect, right? Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes proficiency. So you want to focus on that. Now, the way a green personality can really tap into their analytical strengths to become more proficient at what they're doing, especially during burnout mode, is to stop for a moment and think outside the box. You typically have a set way of thinking, but what if you shifted your focus, shifted your thoughts on a whole new perspective? Let your imagination run wild, right? Lean a little bit away from the logic, more into the creative mind just for a moment, and see what kinds of things that you can come up with. Ooh, start thinking outside the box. And finally, I want you to just reassess just for a moment. For all personalities, pause. When you're feeling burned out, pause just for a second and start thinking about the things like, what do you want exactly? And why do you want that? Because sometimes we just want something because we got so used to saying we want it. And it's not even in alignment with who we are anymore. It's something we wanted 10, 20 years ago, and we're still talking about it just because we're talking about it. And we've been talking about it. So really think about that. And also, when it comes to your business, go back over how and why you want to help other people, and what exactly do you want to help them with. This has been a huge stumbling block for so many home business owners. They don't even know what the heck they want to help people with. They're talking about, I need to come up with my monetization strategy, and I need my marketing plan. For what? Marketing what? Monetizing what? In order to accomplish what? We need to know what the what is. So we have to stop for a sec and take the time to really think about that. Okay? So I want you to really think about those things. And for me, because I promised you I was going to share an inside look at what's going on for me. This new year has been a very interesting new year already, and we're not even 2 full weeks in yet. I expected to go into this new year all excited, ready to crush it. I had all these ideas lined up, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it. New year, new me, blah, 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 right? But then when the new year hit, I didn't feel the way that I thought I was going to feel, if that makes sense. Okay. So it was a very weird sensation for me. I was not used to this at all. You guys know me. I'm pretty chipper and peppy and excited. Like, that's just who I am. I am literally like this all the time. My husband tells me, he's like, it's so funny watching you sleep, because while you're awake, you're this big ball of energy. You're all over the place. But when you're asleep, you're just still. You're just finally, you're just in one spot. So I was not feeling that excitement moving into this new year. I don't know. And I kind of felt a little burnout, because I was like, am I accomplishing what I've set out to? Am I impacting as many people as I really want to? And I had to remember that you can't help people that don't want the help. And if I focus on the people I didn't help, then that does a disservice to who I have helped and how great they're doing now, right? Even if they haven't hit their ultimate goal yet, I played a role in being able to enhance somebody's life, I should not take that for granted. I shouldn't just, completely dishonor that or not acknowledge that. And so I started thinking about, well, what are some things that I can now do um, that's going to be even bigger and better than what I've done before? Now, the last time I asked myself that question and prayed about it, boom, this amazing opportunity for my life, for my business showed up. And I made the most money that I had ever made in my business, in this one area of my business. And so I'm really excited to be experiencing that again. The desire, right? As I'm starting to plan out my content and plan out, my strategy for 2022, really thinking about how I want to go bigger, how I want to go better than what anything I've ever done. It's a bit scary because it requires me to step out of my comfort zone. And what's interesting is a lot of times you'll watch a leader like myself, you'll see somebody who's had some success, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do they mean get out their comfort zone? Right? That's not a one-time thing, right? Many of you recall there's been times that I shared a story about hopping on a plane to go halfway across the country to an event I'd never been to before, to a place in the world I'd never been to before, with not enough money to stay there as long as I needed to, and like all of that. But I stepped out on faith. And with that, right, that required me to step out of my comfort zone. Now, when I did that, oh, it yielded great results. It completely changed my life. It set that trajectory for me to head towards a whole new way of living and existing in the world. So it was great to have done. But that's not the only time in life. Like, there's not this one pivotal moment where everything changes. You have a series of pivotal moments where everything changes. And so here I am in that position again. And so no wonder, and I want to say this to you as well. No wonder I was feeling a little bit of a burnout, because it felt mundane. It felt like, oh, I'm starting to go in circles. I feel like I've plateaued. And that's because that is, my circumstances, the universe are giving me a sign that it is time to now step into a whole new version of me. It is time to, the cocoon is being made around me, and I'm in this little incubation period, and then boom, it's time to break out of the chrysalis, right? It's going to a whole new level. And so when that happens, feeling burned out can be one of the indications that it is now time for you to move on to something bigger and better, right? Now, in my case, I'm still going to be coaching. It's not like I'm moving on into something completely different in my life. Still going to be doing coaching, but I desperately, almost desperately, I was looking to leverage my time better. I have been putting a lot of time and effort into some things. And although it felt good to help people, again, I need to make sure that I have the time available to pour back into myself. So there's that. But I'm definitely now on a path of creating more time leverage for myself. And so thanks to me feeling that burnout, feeling that indication of, ooh, this does not feel right anymore, that it is now time for me to move on to the next best thing. And it requires me stepping out of my comfort zone. It's a familiarly unfamiliar place to be. And knowing that I'm getting ready to step into the unknown, initially, yeah, it feels a little scary. It feels a little nerve-wracking. A little anxiety is felt there. But when you keep your eyes on the prize, right? When I remind myself that this is for my good, this is something that is going to further enhance my life. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to feel better as a person, as a marketer, as a mom, as a wife. There's so much benefit to me stepping out of my comfort zone that it makes no sense for me to stay in it. And I created this amazing, huge comfort zone of, being this coach and being this marketer and helping folks. It's been great, but it's now time for more. It's time for more. So that's been my thing. And so what I've decided to do is actually, sit down, plan out my content, and make sure, right? Make sure it is with intention. I've also decided I'm going to peel back a little bit of the time that I spend in live streaming. I'm not going to do it every day anymore. Right now, I'm going to do once a week because I have another project that I am going to be working on that requires more of my time. And so since this is running really well, I can take this time and use it for the other thing that I have to build momentum with. Now, this is great because I don't have to neglect my audience in order to be able to work on my new project. So that's a plus. And like I said, if there's ever a certain topic that you would like for me to cover, all you got to do is ask me and I'll do that. So you can put in the comments, in the chat, in my DM, in an email to me, what exactly you would like for me to teach on, and I'll be happy to do so. So very excited for all of these things that are coming up for me. Another thing that I do when I'm feeling the burnout and stuff like that, one, like I said, is just the reassessing, thinking about where do I feel like this is not healthy for me so that I can start to make certain decisions differently. And then making a plan around it, taking a look at my routine, my daily schedule, and seeing if there's some things that I need to adjust because it no longer serves me, that kind of thing. It's really important for you to take care of yourself, right? You as an entrepreneur, I mean, there's so many other things that you have to take care of, especially when you're that solopreneur. So you want to take the time to assess those things, right? So yeah, that's some of the stuff that I've decided to do. I am creating I'm working on certain projects, creating certain projects in order for it to give me what I now want for this year and beyond, which is more time freedom. And so it's a lot less hands-on stuff for me and more automated stuff for me at this point. And I've probably should have done it a year or two ago, and now I'm finally embracing it. And that's another thing. You do not have to keep telling yourself, "Oh, I'm behind. I need to catch up." Behind who? It's your business. How are you behind yourself? Right? So you're in the right place at the right time. And just focus on where you are right now and just take that one next step. Because if you do that and repeat, you're eventually going to get where you want to go. Right? How fast or how slow, that part's up to you. But I just hate it when people feel like they're behind. Behind what? You know what I mean? There's no competition. There's no standard of someone else's to compare yourself to. This is about you and what you've set for yourself. And if you discover that you feel behind, it's time to correct it. Self-correct. Very simple. It can be very simple. So anyway, that's it for today, you guys. Make sure that you get on my Victory VIP email list. There are some great things going out. Tomorrow, there's going to be a huge announcement, but only for the people that are on my email list. Those are the only folks that I'm going to share this amazing way for you to take your freebie funnels and have them become a profit boost for you. So if that is something that you've been looking to do, or you've been wondering, how are people able to offer something for free and still be able to make money? That's what I'm going to announce tomorrow. So make sure that you're on my email list so you get tomorrow's email. Also, if you're watching this in the future and you're like, dang, I missed that. Well, reach out to me. This is another reason for you to get on my email list so you can reply to the email and let me know what you need. I'm not here to tell you what you need. You know it. You know what you need for your business. And so if you know what you need, or at least you have some idea, but you don't know where to begin to find it, then reach out to me. That is what I'm here for. Okay. So that is pretty much it. You can also go and visit ValerieWalton.com. The site is up, running, ready. You're going to love my site. Should be very easy for you to navigate and get the answers to your question and the solutions to any problems or challenges that you're having in your business. And if you're not really having any problems or challenges, it is definitely an enhancement to help you to further succeed in your business, even more than you've already been doing, and do it faster. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It has been an absolute pleasure. I am out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you right back here. The rest of this week, I'm going to finish out the week doing every day, but starting next week, it'll just be every Monday live at 5. So I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye. Bye, guys.